Greg Anthony and a pair of Hall of Famers with us, Doris Burke and David Aldridge. Here's Turner, and it's slammed in by Turner.
Well, that's called positioning, and Turner has the verticality to make it easy.
You know, Doris, there's a notion that big men can take a little longer to develop. What have you seen from Miles Turner?
That he's turned himself into a complete basketball player, Kevin, and think there were years because he was playing alongside another big that he was out of position. But he can shoot the basketball with range, he's got strength, and he's a tremendous shot blocker.
All the talk, Greg, leading up to this one has been about the impact of the backcourt.
And that's where it all starts. When you have a confident and competent backcourt, it just opens up a lot of things for you offensively.
Well, Miles Turner has a lot of value in today's NBA. This guy's got length, athleticism, excellent shot blocker. He can space the floor with the ability to make those jumpers.
High post, Jackson. There's a screen. Down low, Edey goes up and lays it nice and easy. Edey's got his second basket.
Yeah, going hard to the rack, making a statement here early on.
And this is why you get the ball into his hands. Let him establish the pace and rhythm of the game.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
You know, we see this all the time. You're basically, as a defender, hoping the man misses rather than putting in the work to get over screens.
And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Coach Taylor Jenkins gave me a few minutes to catch up. He talked about the challenge of game planning for Tyrese Haliburton. And Coach said we have to stay in front of him. The second he gets a step on us, that's when it's kind of pick your poison with him. If our guys stay in front of him, I think we should be fine. Back to you.
Thank you, David. Now, Morant. Following the three-point attempt by Tyrese Haliburton. Pass to Edey. Some nice passing there by Memphis. And so it's Haliburton who brings up the ball for the Pacers. And finished off by Siakam.
Well, Pascal Siakam has the ability to play on the inside and score with that length.
It's an odd stat, but what I'm going to throw out there anyway, the Memphis Grizzlies set an NBA record last season for players used in a season.
Kevin, this isn't football, right? They had 33 different guys suited up last season. That tells you how difficult it was. Constant change, hard to build chemistry, and let's face it, hard to win games.
Here's Siakam, following the basket by John Morant. Connects from three-point range. Turner's got 7 points.
Well, you just love how Miles Turner goes right up with it, right? No hesitation, catch and shoot.
And it's Taylor Jenkins calling timeout here. He wants to regroup and go over the strategy. Indiana making some changes. The Grizzlies trail by 4. Morant outside. Jackson in the corner. To the middle. Here's Edey. It's rebounded by Indiana. Deflects the pass. McConnell with it. To the paint. Here's Walker. And Desmond Bane pulls it down. And Morant's got the ball here for Memphis. To the left side wing. Pass to Edey. It's Morant in the corner. Inside. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Terrific dime there. Morant realizing his responsibility to share the wealth with his teammates.
Here's McConnell. Edey with the rebound. Morant with it. Back to Bane. That doesn't go on the chance to tie. McConnell scanning the floor. Pass to Mathurin. Bryant inside. Clock at 6. Here's McConnell. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
What a heads-up play by Obi Toppin. Feeds the open man. Easy opportunity.
Here's Morant. The layup off target. Pacers leading by 4. Here's McConnell. To the inside. Here's Toppin. And Toppin throws it down.
Boy, the explosiveness of Obi Toppin can really shock the defense. This guy gets excellent airspace.
Pass to Jackson. Takes it off the glass.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Back to McConnell. The 3. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. Offense, the order of the day as the first quarter comes to a close. Pacers lead by 4. Live from the... And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Pacers.
How about the ball movement so far? I mean, the unselfishness, everyone here just playing for one another, and that can be infectious.
Pass to Huff. And when you think back to that Sabonis-Haliburton trade, Doris, it really worked out for both teams.
It's rare, Kevin, that you can talk about a, quote, win-win for both sides. Most trades are a little bit harder to evaluate because they involve more moving pieces. This was a straight-up one-to-one swap of young stars and positional fits for each side.
And, Greg, you think about what they call float game. Why does that one shot earn a nickname like that?
I mean, it's a badge of respect, right? The floaters, teardrops, whatever you call them, runners, often the finishing touch to an already well-developed offensive arsenal.
It's Pippen with the drive. Down low. Siakam pulls it in.
Amazing tenacity attacking the basket, and I'm sure he won't miss that next time.
Back to Haliburton. Pass to Siakam. Indiana moving the ball around. Takes a 3. The Grizzlies pull it in. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. Here's Huff. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
And bullseye with that assist. Nice delivery there in traffic.
Here's Haliburton. And he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
You know, execute the turnaround as well as he did there, and there's not much a defense can do about it. Just have to hope the shot's not falling.
We've got a timeout called by Taylor Jenkins. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. The Grizzlies trail by 4. Shot's good by Pippen.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Here's Haliburton. In the hoop for his 3rd make from the field. He's 3 for 4 thus far in the contest.
When Haliburton gets this close to the cup, he's got that little teardrop. Very tough to stop it.
Now, certainly with one of the more unique shots in the NBA, Haliburton gets it done.
You know, Kevin, credit to Haliburton and the organizations he's played for, because a lot of them would have changed or tried to rebuild their shot. Haliburton and his organizations knew the shot worked, and he stuck with it. And now he's one of the best shooters at his position.
And Desmond Bane pulls it down.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
What a terrific play by just a tremendous all-around player. This guy makes it look easy.
Memphis shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game. Indiana leading. Turner with the screen. A 3 ball. It's rebounded by Memphis. We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Pass to Huff. Here's Here's the floater. Good on the bucket. Huff's got the lead up to 1 now for Memphis. And here's Haliburton. He'll bring it up for the Indiana Pacers. And once again off the mark by Indiana. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Grizzlies retired Marc Gasol's number 33 last season. You may recall he moved to Memphis in his teens, watching his older brother Powell play for the Grizz. Marc said, "I had a very unique perspective, that of a fan. When I came back as a Grizzlies player, I carried that with me." And Kevin, that pride certainly showed.
Pride's a great word to use. No question, D.A. Thank you. Here's Wells. The Grizzlies with another miss. To the paint. Wells with the steal. Inside. And Jackson throws it down hard.
And the flush from Jackson Jr. Great wingspan, and at 6'11", he's got a little nasty in it.
Pass to Siakam. It's hauled in by Huff. Memphis leading. Now here's Wells. Still yet to score. And there's the foul. It'll go on Tyrese Haliburton. That's his first foul. There's 53 seconds left in the first half of basketball.
This is what we call highly efficient play. Working off the screen, getting to the cup.
Now Haliburton. 9 points in the game so far. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. For Indiana, they have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
And just to mention, a season ago, they were very comfortable at the line, hitting about 78% of their free throws.
Indiana making some changes. And here's McConnell. Here's Bryant. And Bryant throws it down.
And those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
Well, credit him for going for it, not settling, saying, "I'm going to attack."
To the wing on the left. Edey. The three-pointer, no good. And here we go with Toppin running it up the court. McConnell with it. Poked away. Now here's Morant for 3. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. It's the Grizzlies leading by just 1. Time now for the halftime break, with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. Greg, with how explosive Ja Morant is, he has certainly taken his fair share of awkward falls.
And that's what worries you with guys like that. He's already had a number of injuries in his young career, but we all just want to see him at full health.
Fast break, here they come. Haliburton with it. Now defended by Bane.
This is where Haliburton can really hurt you, playing with pace, using his speed in transition.
Memphis trailing here. Outside for Jackson. Some nice passing there by Memphis. It's Morant in the corner. Pass to Wells. Wants to get it to Bane, and does. Just 2 to shoot. Jackson misses. And so here is Indiana. They haven't given up any points here in the second half. On the wing, Turner. Here's Haliburton. Guarded by Morant. Back to Siakam. Haliburton outside. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Morant right side. Here's Edey. Siakam pulls it in. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Ja Morant. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
It's a close game here in Memphis. Here's McConnell. Walker in the corner. Now, here's Toppin. Shot from 12. Count it.
Excellent concentration by Obi Toppin. It doesn't matter where he is on the floor. This guy's physical, and he's willing to absorb that contact.
And it's Taylor Jenkins calling timeout here. Wants to talk some things over. Might be seeing some things to adjust. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Here's Morant. Pass to Edey. Jackson has the open look. The offensive rebound. Morant left side. Jackson with the screen. Here's Edey. And here's Jackson. Defended by Bryant. Wells way outside. And another miss by Memphis.
And he's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
Boy, we're seeing it more and more. Guys looking to create additional space by stepping back further from the line.
Back to Bryant. Now McConnell. A second chance effort. He lays it in. Now it's a 5-point Indiana lead.
Good job attacking. Those restricted area shots are what every NBA team is looking for.
On the Pacers' doors last season, trading for Pascal Siakam to complement this hungry team.
And Kevin, it's important in a couple of ways. First of all, he's a two-time All-Star who's got a championship pedigree. The other part of this is Indiana is an equal opportunity offense, so they want to share the basketball. But Pascal brings individual playmaking and shot making, and sometimes that's a must-have in this league.
And there's the drive. And Morant throws it down.
How about the authority from Morant? The way he was running, you knew he was aiming to shatter the rim.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, thanks. Ja Morant was the first NBA guard in a quarter century to lead the league in points in the paint. He says, I can't just rely on dunking every single play, so I need different types of finishes to get my shot off, whether it's high off the glass, the reverse, or hanging in the air forever. And Kevin, he just says it so casually. Back to you.
I know it. But look, David, he doesn't do it casually, right? He is a one-man circus.
Yeah, what a nice play. Just a coaster by himself off of that steal.
Boy, that's one he wishes he could have back, especially against soft defense.
And Jaren Jackson picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Some changes for Indiana. Turner with the screen. Here's Nembhard. And once again off the mark by Indiana. The Grizzlies trailed by 3. It's Morant with the drive. And there's the foul. It'll go on Tyrese Haliburton. That'll be his second foul of the game. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Back to Jackson. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And between his footwork and height, Jackson is a tough matchup for defenders. Here he takes full advantage and draws the foul. Well, probably a little draft in the arena tonight. He's the last guy you expect to miss the mark by that much.
Absolutely. Up top, McConnell. And a wide open look for Mathurin. What a play. Simply trains it in at the buzzer.
That is a huge three-pointer. Extends the lead at the last possible second. That'll give him a big boost going into the fourth period.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. Here's Haliburton. From down in the low post, it goes.
Tyrese Haliburton has it cooking, guys. He's created good offensive momentum, and he's keeping his foot on the gas pedal.
Huff, no good. Pacers leading by 7. Haliburton with the bucket.
And that's just cold-blooded right there. He's taking no prisoners.
Well, when it's closing time, he's trying to lock the door. He's been going all night.
Driving to the basket. It's rebounded by Memphis. Out to the wing. Memphis moving that ball around. Outside for Pippen. Off target from three-point range. And it's Indiana's ball. And here's Haliburton. On the wing, Turner. And Turner throws it down.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
They're just too slow to react. You can't afford to sleepwalk through possessions. What's going on out there?
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Hey, Kevin. Well, Taylor Jenkins just reviewed his plan with his team. He said in the huddle, we got to play some defense in the paint. They're getting too much in there. Battle down low. Time to fight, guys.
All right, thank you, David.
Well, known for being a terrific passer, he shows you right there. Case in point.
And finished off by Siakam.
Well, the athletic ability of Pascal Siakam with a little sauce there.
Turner with the steal. Now the Pacers moving it up. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Pacers.
Guys, the D hasn't had an answer for the three-point shooting, which is why they continue to just fire away from deep.
This is about the last guy you want to send to the stripe right now. They keep fouling him, and he keeps making them.
We've got a timeout called by Taylor Jenkins. And clearly an important juncture. He's going to have some choice words with his team. The Grizzlies trailed by 11. To the left wing. Here's Edey. To the middle. Here's Wells. Goes back up. Outside Pippen. Fires from deep. They get it back. Back to Aldama. And Aldama slams it in.
And doing some dirty work on the offensive glass.
And then follows it up, Greg, with heavy-duty jam on his mind with a terrific putback. A nice shot by Haliburton.
Well, you love when guards are unafraid to get to the painted area and finish. Go ahead, Tyrese.
Drills the three-pointer. Wells has got 5 points now this quarter.
The D just sagged off just enough and no hesitation on his part.
Haliburton. And it's good. That bucket takes him to 9 for 14.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
On the wing, Bane. Bangs home the trifecta.
And guys, there are some you can give that shot to. But let's be clear, he's not one of them. Terrible job there by the D.
Pass to Neesmith. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Neesmith has got his first 3 points of the game.
And guys getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. If they want to, they can milk the clock just a little bit here.
Yeah, that's the best option.
Haliburton with the bucket.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing. Boy, when he's this deep, it's going to be tough to stop him, especially with a smaller defender. Boy, the bucket's been 5 feet wide for him. He's dropping everything in.
Here's Morant. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
And you want to prevent Ja from driving to the rim, but you gotta also contest him at the mid-range and just hope it doesn't go in.
The Grizzlies trail by 12.
And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. It's a statement victory for the Pacers.
They really lit it up in this one. Fantastic offensive performance.
Definitely just simply shot the ball well. One of those games to be proud of.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Tyrese Haliburton.
What you love about his performance is that he is simply taking what the defense allows and then making the most of his opportunities.
Screen by Siakam. Neesmith with the ball. Now guarded by Wells. Clock at 2. Haliburton. And Desmond Bane pulls it down.
Not enough ticks left on the clock to save them tonight.
I'll tell you, it's never an easy point in the game, knowing whatever you do, you're still coming away with the L.
Here's Haliburton. And Haliburton slams it in.
My goodness, how about that explosion? Haliburton takes off.
Puts up a deep 3. Off on that one. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road.